Hi, Cycle Breakers. This is Judy Hu here, explaining how you can view social anxiety or rejection sensitivity dysphoria as an adaptation to collective trauma. The internal adaptive teenager is big size because the teenager internalizes how they were parented and the beliefs around them in society. Adaptive teens uphold the system of capitalism, colonialism, patriarchy, white body supremacy. Wounded children is key to changing your reality because there is a worldview or a mindset that the wounded child is holding. The world's not safe. I'm defective. I'm unworthy. I'm going to get rejected. Whatever it is, you created in your young childhood because there were no boundaries. You were absorbing everything around you as truth, and then you personalized it as about yourself. This dynamic is the one that we keep working on in our cycle breaker groups and what I work on individually with clients and their partners if I'm doing couples therapy. What I want to explain is this wounded child adaptive teen dynamic. They're fighting. My adaptive teen is berating and abusing my wounded child because of how I was criticized. Zooming out, not because the parent was bad, but because the parent also took on the beliefs within society that our love is conditional. We need to excel in order to be good enough. This is the dynamic in our society, perpetrator and victim dynamic. Colonizer, colonized. Man, woman. Adult, child. Neurotypical, neurodiverse. Same dynamic. What I want you to understand is this big size, small size is an adaptation to collective trauma. So what do I mean? The victim here, in this example, could be the indigenous folks that lived on Turtle Island. The perpetrators here could be the Catholic Church that opened up boarding schools to re-educate the indigenous, to teach them that they were bad. What happens with abuse is we need to adapt in order to survive. And so what happens is we take that energy into our body. So if we were a victim or if we perpetrated, we absorb the energy of the other person. When I do boundary healing intensives with people, it's like a concentrated amount of time within 2 to 3 weeks so that I can really get into the nervous system and redo things. It's not just one and done. You actually need to uphold this change because you're essentially realigning yourself to who you really are. And historically, what we know for the folks who usually find me is that they were not allowed to be their full self. So what happens is we do the boundary healing intensive, or you take my Embody Your Boundaries course and you understand how you adapted. As you keep realigning to your functional adult and your full authenticity, your full embodiment, your nervous system is going to freak out because it was not safe to be who you were. That freak out is not you reverting. That freak out is an opportunity for you to practice regulating into your functional adult. What you're doing is maturing your nervous system into your full authentic self. The physical body wants survival over authenticity. Your spirit, your soul, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, wants to live a full life. So the cadence feels off because one feels like it's working against the other. So cycle breaking, undoing the impact of domination, requires active participation and intentional practice. So here's an intentional practice. When you feel social anxiety, intense anxiety, or rejection sensitivity, or you just start to feel that way, this is the ritual I want you to do, this routine. When you start feeling anxiety or judgment, you're going to do 10 jumping jacks, run up and down the stairs, whatever you need to do to raise your heart rate. You're bringing your heart rate up to release the adrenaline and the cortisol from your body. The second thing is you're going to bilateral tap because that opens up both hemispheres of the brain. So it's easier to program and tell yourself, I will not be stoned, murdered, exiled, whatever the fear is. I'm in a different timeline now. Okay. Then you orient to your surrounding, you connect with your body, figure out what you're feeling, and then you look around your body slowly. So you're putting your body in the present moment instead of far in the future or far in the past. And then you can say, I do not consent to dominating or being dominated or judging anymore. I release you.